Morning. The invitation this morning was written by what we the broken hearts of glory, bringing to the altar of life. Don't leave their hands up in time in that high standard the world needs. Bring the wings and your joy, and your power. Bring your loving and your courage and your convictions. Bring the need for the truth and your power to heal. There is work to do, and you have all that you need to do right here. Our this morning, our first one is number 239. Rather than the word 8, 9, chapter. There's little wonderful things where you can come in and sweat. First time in unison and then.
First of all,
good morning. Welcome to First Parish in Milton. My name is Tom Kemp, and I am a member of the worship committee. If you are having trouble hearing us, please raise your hand here in the meeting house. Raise your hand and we can adjust the volume. Good. Usually the person raising their hand is me, so. What's that? Okay. We are so glad that you've chosen to be here with us this morning or to join us virtually. However your journey, whatever your heritage, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. Your presence here on Sunday morning enriches worship for everyone. This sanctuary is made holy by your presence. If you're joining us for the first time, a special welcome. You will find information about First Parish in your pew, and one of the greeters or I would be happy to answer questions you might have. And starting next Sunday, we will be able to walk you over to social hour, not this week. The work of living our faith is done both in and out of worship. So I call your attention to the printed announcements that came with your order of worship or found in your email link. In particular, there are items that I wanted to highlight. There is a Zoom discussion today about the eighth principle of Unitarian, adding an eighth principle to Unitarian Universalist congregations. And that'll be starting today at noon. There was some confusion that it might have been canceled. It is not. It is happening at noon. And next Sunday, when we begin having social hour again after the service, we're going to have a holiday brunch over a waffles brunch over in the parish hall. And they'll be serving, as it says right here, crispy, delectable yeast-risen waffles, not hot off the press, fully loaded gluten and gluten-free versions, as well as sausages, fruit, coffee. Limit 2 waffles to a person, okay? Unless heavily bribed, as it says here. Now is a time that we want to take a couple of minutes just to welcome and greet each other. COVID-wise, let's stay in the pews and greet each other warmly for this Sunday.
Hello. Hey, everyone.
Penny,
Good morning.
good morning.
Penny, how you feeling?
Not bad. I feel better than I look.
Oh, good, good.
I fell on the trolley tracks.
Oh,
My
no.
God.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Dear.
So I'm doing great, but I'm in a rehab in
As we enter
Quincy.
into worship,
Oh, my God.
let's just take a moment and make sure that your cell phones are silent.
Let's see everyone.
All right.
See you
Now
back.
is the moment when we can focus on being here, when we can choose to connect with ourselves and the divine, when we can choose to just be present. Each Sunday, we light the chalice as a reminder that even in an increasingly unpredictable and dangerous world, the flame continues to shine, a corner of warmth and awareness where we, the members of this faith community, can find comfort, support, and connection to one another. And will you please join me in the unison call to worship in your order of worship. Come, let us gather. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We come to seek spiritual growth and understanding. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Together, we work to build a world with justice and compassion. Come, let us gather together.
So this morning in the sanctuary, we are going to be talking about prayer. Is prayer. There's lots of different ways people pray, all of them, lots of different reasons. So I thought it might be
An interesting thing to write a prayer together. And what we're going to do is we're going to write a psalm. This is an exercise that I made up quite a while ago when I was learning about psalms in seminary. And does anybody know what a psalm is, or what they think of a psalm as being? Anyone have an idea? No. Well, basically what a psalm is, traditionally, there's a whole book in the Hebrew Bible, which is sometimes called the Old Testament, of psalms. And they are basically what one colleague used to call letters to God or letters to the source of all being, whatever you want to say. Now, the Psalms were written mostly around a time when people lived in the desert or around the desert. So just imagine you're in a desert and you see a huge, wide expanse of sky and not much else. And you're this teeny person in this huge world. So people would think, how do I connect with this enormous earth, with this enormous expanse? How can I possibly be at all in relationship to whatever created this? So they would start to basically write letters. They would try to relate by writing about their feelings. Sometimes it was sad feelings, which were called laments or praises, or they would do different kinds of prayers to say, can you help me with this? Or can I understand that? That kind of thing. So right now, we are going to write one of these in a very short period of time. You will be dazzled by yourselves. And what I need is 8 people that are willing to help with the writing. And if you are willing to help with the writing, could you please stand? And I'm hoping there might be all different ages that would be willing. Is anybody willing to do a little bit of the writing? Don't worry, I will guide you through it. So if you're willing to, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Come stand, please stand so I can see you. Yeah. No, that's not yet. That's for blessings. Oh, don't worry. We're going to write blessing later. Oh. Okay, spoiler alert. But okay, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Need 4, 5. Come on and stand, please, so that I know. All right, and we can go around the 5 if that's all that you want. Okay, so first, writers, what I'd like you to think of is we're going to write a psalm, a prayer, a kind of letter to that which can really not be named, this huge thing of creation, if we could speak to it. So what might be a word you would use for that? Does anybody have, one of the writers want to give a word for this huge thing, whatever you want to give it? Some sort of word. Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so now we need 3 more adjectives. We are doing a psalm to wonderful. Oh, wonderful. So let's do 3 other adjectives or adverbs. If you raise your hand, if you can think of one, something. How else would you describe wonderful? Yes. Generous. All-knowing. Yes, did you have a? Compassionate. Okay, and oh yes, now. Okay, sure. Great. Generous. Yeah, I'm gonna put that right there. So Owen, finish this sentence. Yeah, right now we have, oh, generous, great, all-knowing, compassionate, wonderful. I know you. I know you. Finish that sentence. I know you are a beautiful person. No, you do not have to. Elise. Justice. I know you are a beautiful person of justice. Sometimes I fear. Loneliness. You want to ask a question of this being, Gabby. Sometimes I fear loneliness. Sometimes I feel joy. Who wants to ask this being question? Any question? Ask a question. How can we do the right thing? Then thank you for, just throw out, thank you for creating the world and me. Oh, this is, all right. Ready? So you can all sit in it. This is what we just wrote in 2 minutes. Oh, generous, great, all-knowing, compassionate, wonderful. I know you are a beautiful person of justice. Sometimes I fear loneliness, and sometimes I feel joy. How can we do the right thing? Thank you for creating the world and me. Oh, generous, great, all-knowing, compassionate, wonderful. Wow. Well done. So let's sing children to classes. Time now is the time in our service for a time of stillness. And so if we can think about this time as sometimes breathing or stillness is also kind of a reaching into a presence that is within us and about us in this space. And in your homes or wherever you are. So give yourself that with your breathing, sense the presence of life that's in you and all about you.
First reading this morning is A Blessing of Presence, A Blessing for Presence by John O'Donohue. May you awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. May you have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. May you receive great encouragement when new frontiers beckon. May you respond to the call of your gift and find the courage to follow its path. May the flame of anger free you from falsity. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame and anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. May you take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. May you be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder.
To pray, writes Joy Harjo, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. Joy Harjo's rendering, first Native American U.S. poet laureate, was probably the first description of prayer that really resonated with me. She gives the sense of sacred reaching with the ground of present circumstance. She is in this life, of this life, and open to this life. A universal feel, an intimate connection, a humble welcome. Prayer And know there is more, she goes on to say, that you can't see, can't hear, can't know except in moments steadily growing and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Connection to life does not have one avenue. Prayer does not have one language, one focus, one destination, except to pause, proclaim, or pray and play in presence. Other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning, Joy Harjo continues, over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. When we connect to being, guidance is available. We shift our focus in prayer to that larger guidance and find ourselves in conversation with it. This can happen in silence, in spoken word or sound, in movement, art, gardening, creativity, in whatever prayerful conversation we are in. We are aware of the relationship, of the something more, and the belonging within. Breathe in, Harjo exclaims, knowing we are made of all this, and breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born and die soon, within a true circle of motion, like eagle, rounding out the morning inside us. We pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty. Often people think about prayer, and when they think about it, we wonder who we are praying to. And right there, it stifles our openness of heart. We become intimidated with trying to mold an image or describe something beyond our ability to fully know. It's too big. How am I going to do it right? I remember feeling out of my league when I served as a hospital chaplain as part of my training for ministry. I did not feel qualified to pray. Prayer was not a part of my childhood upbringing. I soon realized, however, that it wasn't about me having the right words. It was about listening to the ways and words that might speak to the needs of the moment. I quickly learned to ask the patients what words they used to describe a sacred connection. I chose to focus on their inherent dignity and follow their lead on what prayer to fashion and utter. Sometimes they wouldn't know, but most times they would know the imaging that enfolded them in their lives. And as a Unitarian Universalist, I did not have the creedal insistence on one way to pray. We're lucky that way. We can translate and find the relationship with a sense of the sacred that speaks to the moment, that soothes and strengthens. It's all approximation. It's all a sacred relation. People often wonder when they pray if anyone is listening. Yes, you are listening and reaching beyond yourself. And you're not alone. You didn't come up with all this. You're not alone. Prayer is not about changing the circumstances or catching the interest of some distant other. It's about shifting your frame, changing your attitude. And from there, often circumstances do change. Prayer is a practice of opening, not of getting. Prayer is a practice of reaching, not of rendering. Prayer is a practice of welcome, not of demand. Prayer is a practice of humility and mystery, not of claiming stakes. Another friendly entrance to prayer for me was saying grace, something I started early with our children. Taking a moment to be grateful and to pause at a shared meal, noticing the blessing of nourishment, not only in food, but also in gratitude for the day. When I would doubt whether to encourage grace before dinner, I would remember Vietnam Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, who pointed out that the attitude we are in while we are eating is, in a way, what we are ingesting spiritually, and even telling our body to ingest it, and emotionally. So if we're angry, we're shoveling food down. If we're angry, we're nourishing ourselves with anger or whatever emotion, sadness, whatever. So to pause, focus in on gratitude means we're taking in the food in a way that it could digest well, ease our being, and nourish our sense of abundance. Another style of prayer that I learned in seminary was a prayer of petition, asking God or the source of being for guidance or help or understanding. One particular prayer resonated with me. It was originally written by Ben Campbell Johnson, though it got adapted a lot through oral tradition. It focuses in on the body as a companion in grounding and helping focus you. It's very reminiscent of meditation or yoga, where you do a body scan all the way through the body to sort of ease and get into a place. It turned out to be very helpful for me early on in my ministry in Maryland. A congregant who was a nurse came to me as to the first year, just having heard the diagnosis that she had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, being a nurse, she knew exactly what that meant, a debilitating disease, and that usually after diagnosis, it means about 2 years left to live. And she had 2 teenage children. Again, I felt out of my league, worried that I didn't know enough of what to say, how to abide with this journey. When I would drive to her home for pastoral visits, I would say this prayer that I will share with you out loud till it grounded me into a sense of presence. While I'm driving, I would just keep saying it. By the time I pulled into the driveway, I felt a little more assured that I could be there fully with humility and care. And I'm going to read this to you, and then Tom and I will share it a second time with a little bit difference that I'll describe. But this is what I used to say to myself as I was driving. God, be in my head and in my understanding. God, be in my mind and in my thinking. God, be in my eyes and in my seeing. God, be in my ears and in my hearing. God, be in my mouth and in my speaking. God, be in my heart and in my loving. God, be in my hands and in my doing. God, be in my gut and in the core of my being. God, be in my ways and in my walking. God, be at my end and at my departing. So I really liked this prayer, so I started to add to it to sort of get into what each stage meant. So I added something more to it. And it's also a really good swimming prayer. I don't know how many of you swim laps, but it can be, can get boring every once in a while, or just counting. So I would use this prayer for each lap. And I made different prayers for 10 laps, 20 laps, 30 laps. But I asked Tom Kemp to come and do this with me again to show you how you can go deeper into a prayer if you'd like, just to try and train myself to understand it more.
God be in my head and in my understanding.
Awareness comes from the source within. I choose to pay attention.
God be in my mind and in my thinking.
Clarity comes from the source within. I choose discernment.
God be in my eyes and in my seeing.
Beauty is before me. Beauty is behind me. Beauty is above me. Beauty is below me. Beauty is around me. Beauty is within me.
God be in my ears and in my hearing.
The hum of the cosmos is in all things. I choose to pay attention.
God be in my mouth and in my speaking.
Truth claims come from the source within. I choose my soul's truth.
God be in my heart and in my loving.
Love is the creative, connecting force of the cosmos. I choose the way of love.
God be in my arms and in my doing.
Right action comes from the source within. May my hands do the work of God.
God be in my gut and the core of my being.
Chi is the energy force of the cosmos. I choose to nourish Chi.
God be in my ways and in my walking.
Intention fuels my way in the cosmos. I intend courage and truth and humility and love and resilience.
God be at my end and departing.
Transformation is the way of the cosmos. I choose to transform in the way of cosmic harmony. Thank you. And you can use different words for God, which I do. Sometimes I'll use Tao, which I do. Tao is the Tao Te Ching. You can use source, you can use whatever. Just put in whatever word and just go all the way down and let it fill you completely. So there's one more style of prayer that I'd like to mention today, and that is a blessing. Now, that's often considered an intercessionary prayer, which is a prayer that you are praying for someone else, that you focus on your hopes for another. And John O'Donohue, the poet of today's reading, was a maestro of blessings. He's written a whole book called Blessing the Space Between Us, and he's just an incredible writer of blessings. And here's one thing that he wrote about blessings. There is a kindness that dwells deep down in things. It presides everywhere, often in the places we least expect. The world can be harsh and negative, but if we remain generous and patient, kindness inevitably reveals itself. Something deep in the human soul seems to depend on the presence of kindness. Something instinctive in us expects it. And once we sense it, we are able to trust and open ourselves. So one thing that John O'Donohue called blessings was to get in touch with that primordial benevolence, he called it, that kindness that dwells in us. And a blessing itself is you create a circle of love, basically, around the person you're thinking of, you have concern for or hope for. It's like a protection, something to mind their lives. So I'm going to ask you to write a blessing. So when you got your order of worship, you probably got a pink card. Did most of you get a pink card? Tom has extras if you don't. And we also have little golf pencils. So if you need a pencil, please raise your hand and he'll bring it on over. So don't worry, it's the same kind of thing. I'll prepare and then we'll just give you a little time to write something. So first, think of someone, some being, it could be animals, maybe even someone that you don't really know that you just saw on the street, anyone that comes to your mind that you would like to send care or concern or hope or, wrap them in love. Just think of someone. And when you have that person, think of what your hope is, what your care is, what's your most, the priority, the concern. And folk on Zoom, if you can get a piece of paper and a pencil or pen, do this with us. And you can write it in the chat later if we're going to share. You don't have to. These don't have to be shared, by the way. So think of the person. And then when you're thinking about them, just think about what you would hope for them or a concern you have. And just think about that for a second. Don't write anything yet. So now trust your own wisdom, trust your love, trust your kindness. And think about what might abide with them that would help or encourage or augment whatever feeling you're hoping they have. So this is a very simple form. And it starts with may you, and then it's whatever you're hoping for. So that, and I can do it, let me do it. Someone give me sort of a generic one, something that a generic concern that I might have. Someone give me something and I'll sort of talk it through for folk. Anything you saw this morning or anything in the news, anything you want me to just do a blessing for right now? Anybody? I'm sorry? Memphis. And what are you hoping for Memphis? What are you hoping for Memphis?
Peace.
To the people of Memphis, may you feel the connection and hope of love and concern that overrides the brutality seen and known in these last days, so that you can find each other wholly, protecting one another, protection from malice. Something like that. So go, write, just do a little bit of writing.
So is there anything that you'd like to share?
If you wanted to share it, just for us to get a little bit of a feel of what it's like. And I don't know, Atticus, if there's anything on chat, if somebody writes a blessing on chat, or up there, I keep forgetting. Sorry, I didn't look up there. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah. Do we have one in the choir loft?
The remaining family of the MGH nurse was.
Ooh, Rosemary, could you stand and say it again?
My thoughts are with the remaining family of the Massachusetts General Hospital nurse, Leslie.
Your thoughts are with the remaining family members in Mass General, the remaining family members in Mass General. Thank you. Yeah, of the nurse. Yes. Anyone else want to share their blessing? Yes.
May you have peace, love, and happiness and compassion, so that you will always be aware of the arms of Jesus I need.
Thank you. And this is something that you can say in the mornings. If you have a concern for someone in the day, you could think of them and just write this little gem of hope and intention for them. Let it go out into the ethers, and who knows? It may catch the harmony wing. Anyone else? Yeah, it's can be a very intimate thing to do. So let me close with words from this morning's reading. May you take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. May you be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. So may it be. Amen. And we're going to sing hymn number 1009, Meditation on Breathing. And this is one where it has 3 different parts, and Tim and I talked about this. What we're going to do is 2 of the parts, and then the lovely choir is going to do the descant for us. So hymn number 1009 in the blue hymnal. And before we rise, let's practice it a little. If you go to the 3rd line, the treble line, the 3rd line, let's practice that one first. So can you give us a note? And it's just simply breathe, breathe out, breathe, breathe out. And if there's some people that want to keep doing that, you can just do that. And then the other line, which it comes in a little before breathe, is the top line. I'm sorry, Tim, can you give me the note just in case so I don't? When I breathe in, I'll breathe in. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Then there's some that can just do the breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe in. Join our hearts in the spirit of prayer. To the one called by many names, the source felt in many ways. Come to our awareness, touch our knowing, help guide our being. May we see signs of you in our ways and walking. May we know the strength of life in its harmony and justice. There are many broken hearts and despairing people in the nation and world, especially in Memphis for Tyree. The brutal killing from police. May we break the trance of brutality. May we change the way of enforcing safety. May we find a way that embraces all people, helps people when they're lost, finds a way to recover and recuperate, get rid of retribution, get rid of brutality. And for all those in the world that find themselves facing violence or feeling violence, may there be calm, peace, wisdom of another way. And for all the local prayers lifted up but unspoken, let us surround them in love. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me okay? Okay. My name is Elise Henricks. I'm the chair of the worship committee and also a member of the Racial Justice Task Force here at First Parish. The other day, I had out my Girl Scout sash, you know, the green one that goes across your chest like this. I've saved it for the past 40 plus years. It's hard to believe Marie Kondo would be cringing right now. But I was reminiscing with another younger, much younger former Girl Scout who happens to be dating my son about the sleepovers, campouts, craft making, and all the other fun activities we had participated in when we were each part of a troop. I looked at my badges, some of which were really hard to discern in their original meaning. One seemed to be for riding a magic carpet, but mostly represented learning new skills as part of a community. There were some really formative experiences in my childhood and adolescence in that Girl Scout troop. It also brought to mind a moment from Girl Scouts that I have never forgotten. We were on the way back from some kind of camping event. A bunch of us girls piled up in the way back of the station wagon. And somehow the taunting started. There was one Black girl in my troop, and I don't know how it started or how it happened, but suddenly the conversation veered into racial slurs and taunting. I don't need to repeat the words, you've all heard them before. I sat there in that moment, burning with shame. She sat there saying nothing. I didn't say those hurtful words, but I didn't speak up. Neither did the two adults who were driving in the car with us. I kept waiting for them to say something. Sure, they would make it stop, but they didn't. They pulled up to my house. I got out of the car and walked slowly home, feeling so much shame in myself and disappointment in my elders, our troop leaders. Where were the values that we had been taught in Girl Scouts? It all felt like such a sham. I never apologized to that one girl who was also my friend. That's on me. But I've never forgotten that moment. I guess my point is you can have institutions that proclaim they are doing the right thing and have stated values that you feel aligned with. But if they're not living into those values in real time and space, what are they worth? Here at First Parish, we've been embarking on a journey within the Racial Justice Task Force, exploring the addition of the 8th principle of Unitarian Universalism. It's all about addressing racism and oppression in ourselves and in our institutions, and committing to working on change. We've been doing the listening circles, which have been moving and eye-opening. And I encourage everyone to sign up for a listening circle so that you can learn more about this process. It's just 1 hour spent with others, thinking about this more and our next steps. We don't know yet what the path forward will be, how we'll build Reverend King's beloved community here at First Parish. If we do affirm the 8th principle at annual meeting, stating our intentions out loud will only be the first step. Then it will be up to us to figure out how to live out our commitment. Maybe my first step will be to try to find my old friend and make a long overdue apology. I'll leave you with a quote from the Girl Scout Handbook of 1913. The work of today is the history of tomorrow, and we are its makers. Thank you.
Today's offering will go towards the service and the ministry of First Parish. If you've done this before, you've got it all set up on your phone, and we usually do the offering by credit card on your phone. Simply text 617-539-7576. If you're joining us on Zoom, it should be on the screen. Just simply type in the amount. You will set up the first time, create an account with your credit card or a debit number, and then you'll simply text in the amount. If you're proud of this church, become its advocate. If you care about its future, share its message. We welcome all to build a just and healthy world with faith, love, and compassion. Please support our faith community by giving as generously as you can. If you wish to donate with cash, there is a collection plate at the in the foyer, and there is one here. Thank you.
Is the gift to receive.
May these strength gifts be transformed into strength for this faith community, into comfort, food, and shelter for those in need, and may we be transformed by generosity. And our closing hymn is 123, Spirit of Life, in the gray hymnal.
Up on the first time and then sing it out loud and clear the second. as I douse the chalice flame, may the flame of our faith burn wide and deep within us. May we have the intention of kindness and strength and courage and humility and love, asking for help, giving help, finding harmony of being. Have a good week. Amen.
Carl.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Lori.
There's Lori. There's Pat. There's Dottie.
Go someplace else so this light isn't in the back.
I couldn't, for some reason during the service, it wouldn't let me share my video. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but it was weird.
Yeah, the audio was all over the place.
Yeah, I was harassing Atticus going, the music, we can't hear the music. We can't hear the piano. We can't hear the organ. We can't hear the singers. We can't hear. First, I was harassing Elise because I didn't think Atticus, I didn't know he was in the box. And I knew Elise was in church. So I'm texting him going, we can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that when I'm on the worship committee, that when Tom or whoever the worship assistant is, if you can't hear on Zoom, well, how do you, if you can't hear on Zoom, you can't respond to not being able to hear on Zoom.
I know. I know. I know. In last week, they had the power outage.
Right.
Oh, 2 for 2. Hey, everyone. Hey, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, Jonah.
Jonah, it's really good to see you.
Good to see you too, Dottie.
Yes, it is. Dottie, do you have snow up there?
I'm in Boston, but yes,
you're-
there is snow. I'm going on Tuesday night. And the temperature is going to be like 4 below.
Nice.
I will
We'll have-
invigorate. That's good.
That's why I have heated socks.
That's good.
Hey, I just wanted to say hello to everybody and goodbye because I've got to jump on our 8th listening session and just if anybody is interested, there's 2 seats left if you haven't been through it yet. And just you can either reach out to me or Deb Alsabai in the I guess I'll just put my email, and if I see see it, then I'll send you the invite link. All right, you guys have, and Deb Alsabai is helping too, but just love everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat, for doing that.
Have a great afternoon. Thank you we'll see you.
You too.
Okay.
I'll put in a plug, folks, for doing it because Jen Grant and I were the 2 guinea pigs. I don't know what the proper word is, but we were the test group. Very small listening circle, but it was very intimate. it was Pat and Elise Henricks, Jen Grant, and me last Sunday. And it was a wonderful opportunity to reflect and talk. So go for it.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Hey, Pat.
Bye, Pat. Thanks.
Bye-bye, Pat.
Hey, India. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Are you there?
Yeah, I was doing like charades. My grocery delivery arrived and I was watching him from inside and he was like, this bag here. I was like, I could hear you. I could hear it, you guys starting. And I was like, I love this time of week.
Oh. Oh my.
How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
Good.
Why don't we get a little time? Why don't we do a little check-in? India, how about you? You're telling us about your grocery delivery. That's exciting.
Yeah, what's going on? I've been sick for like 3.5 weeks and then I'll have like a okay day and I'll be like, great, it's over. And then I'll wake up the next day and be like, I'm dying again.
You look great in orange.
Thanks.
It's a beautiful color.
You can just like have your pajamas on and then be like, earrings, Tina.
Dottie's picking up on your fashion cue.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Thank you so much. So they ruled out pneumonia, but said that I have COPD, and I was like, that's cool. Something else.
Oh.
What are you gonna do? It stemmed from long COVID, so it's so strange to me that people don't like really know as much about long COVID, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got COVID, and it was like no big deal," and I'm like, "That's not what you need to worry about."
Yeah.
But so I have a question. Does anyone else think it's like a little weird that in one sentence they were like, "Get up to greet your neighbor, but don't leave your pew," and then the next sentence was like, "We're starting coffee hour next week."
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I know there's the folks where the church were looking at it, monitoring it and managing it, we were having coffee hour and we canceled it. And so maybe I haven't seen any emails, but maybe there was something where they feel like they can adjust it again.
Sure. It's not like anyone's making anyone go. I just,
no.
It struck me as like, that seems odd.
Yeah.
Well, I think some, you go, one can go, the parish hall space is, but I mean, we know the sanctuary is cavernous too. That's not, an excuse, but I guess you make your own decisions. I know the Social and Environmental Justice Committee is going to be doing some new things, a free cycle table, and just we have a flyer that describes some of the new programs and things and old programs that we've been supporting for years. I don't know, people I think are just feeling so cloistered, but I'm not the protocol person, but I think there's sort of a hunger to be in person.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, I was looking at my grocery guide on the map and I was like, no, it's coffee time.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely an important part of the week. So
yeah, making.
Yeah.
What is it? The New York Times is, one of their many studies, or I don't know, maybe it's NPR, you can tell where I get my news, was saying that, there's been a multi-year, multi-generational study of one of the most important factors for happiness is connections with people,
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
what else, India? What else you have?
I have a date tonight. That's still
night. Where you going?
here. He's like my fella, but it's like special date. We do like super special dates, so that's nice. And I don't know what else, like lots of stuff is going on because I've sort of missed January. And so I was like, every year I do it, I'm like, this year, woo! And then after like a week, I get sick or I like fall down some stairs or something. So I guess I should just wait for February and go like, woo, then.
But try it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
saw poor, I saw poor Penny. Boy, Penny looked,
fell
Yeah.
fell
yeah,
on.
I'm glad she mentioned what happened to her because I so wow, you know,
Terrifying.
she looked tough. Like she said, she felt better than she looked, but she looked pretty beat up.
She looked like she hit her head.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
think
Mary told me that she fell on her face.
yeah, it looked like a complete
So-
face plant on a track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty much it.
Oh my golly.
Well,
Send her blessings.
Yes.
Yes, and
Big
yes,
heart.
indeed.
Does she have family support?
Oh,
Oh,
Owen,
yeah,
Owen, right.
yeah.
partner, and I think there's children or nieces or nephews or something in the Boston area, I'm sure. And a great network. I mean, Charlie Franich and Ruth and Debbie Alsabai are all very, very close, you know, right in the neighborhood. So,
We're a team right there.
yeah, so.
That's good. That's good.
Who else wants to check in?
Jonah, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, but maybe you've been on Zoom and I haven't.
I have not been on Zoom. I was going to church more frequently at the end of December than I am now, but I'm glad to be back and glad to be here.
Good.
Thank
Glad
you.
you're back. I was sort of not around during that time too. Right when I need to be, you know, the holidays
Always
are,
happens that way. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll just mention, for any who might not know or read the link regularly, that this coming Saturday, so that's September 4th, is,
Wait, not
Milton-
September, not September.
oh, excuse me, what month is this?
February.
It will be February. Yay! It will be February 4th, which is the Saturday, is Milton for Peace. It's 20th anniversary gala or celebration, and it will be at First Parish. And it's a bunch of people you know and some that you may not know from organizations that have banded together called Milton Changemakers. But it will be, you know, it's free, donation basis to support the, oh, help me out, Jim and Mary, maybe the Haitian family organization, the International Family Services.
The one in Mattapan.
That's correct. That's
Yeah,
right.
I can never get the name straight either, but anyway, it's a service organization that targets Haitian families, provides a wide range of services, including music lessons and what have you, and is very worthy of our support. And for a population that is really prevalent in Milton and Mattapan. So.
And Randolph, big Haitian community in Randolph,
Yeah, Randolph.
Is that right?
Okay.
the other side of the.
In fact, they are sending a group of young musicians to perform.
Is this
Well,
at
that's
night, Tucker,
terrific.
or during the day or
It-
what?
It is at night. It starts at 6 p.m. and will run, 6 to 9, sort of a potluck, chili fest, buffet, finger desserts, and being hosted, by all the Milton Changemakers. It should be a good time. And if crossing my fingers, knock on wood, if the weather is inclement, really bad, it will be postponed a week. So from the 4th to the 11th. So come if you can.
Oh, and just a reminder, the chocolate auction is on the 12th.
Okay.
We
So
have,
when,
go ahead.
No, so that's a Sunday, obviously.
Yeah, right after church, same protocol.
Nice.
There's become a committee, which is great. And I think Lisa told me that Guy Pugh and Leslie McPherson are going to be the auctioneers. And I don't know if there's anything in the link or not. I'm just going to sit at my table and do my regular thing. That's my involvement. And I might make some sauce. I'll make some sauce.
Awesome. Awesome. That is such a cool thing. And
Darl, I want your cowboy cake. Didn't you do a chocolate cowboy cake? Some kind of thing a couple of years ago?
No, he made benches. He made pews.
oh yeah, there's a pew that goes around. I'm not sure who has the pew, but it was made from, remember it was made from one of the old pews. I made a mini pew.
Ah.
And Chris was funny last year. I think it went, I don't know if he had it or someone else, but it's been going around.
I had it.
I'm sorry. Jim.
I don't have it now. I was the first one to get it.
So you
And
started the tradition.
I started the tradition of passing it on in the following year. I don't know if that tradition is going to continue or not because I don't know who got it, and I
It
can't
is
call them and
because
say,
I think there are two, but I think Debbie Alcibi has one because she sent me a picture
That's right. That's right.
of it with like little chocolate people sitting on it or something. It was very cute.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be
Actually,
nice
also
if we can
delicious.
pass it around in another year. Maybe I can make another quick one. We have some wood left over, but nice. Well, it is such a great, fun thing. So is it going to be Zoom or in person? Both?
In person.
In person.
At
Okay.
least that's the plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well,
there's-
when it comes to chocolate, you just wear your mask.
So it'll be a full church day because as I believe that I'm helping with the eighth principle discussion at 9 a.m. that Sunday. And so we'll start at 9 with an eighth principle listening circle, and then we'll have church at the usual 10:30 slot, and then we'll have the chocolate auction. It's going to be like old time church. Where you
I was
just
going to
go
say,
all
we're going to
day.
be like the evangelicals or whatever.
That's right. That's right.
Or the Puritans.
I'll feel right at home.
Now I have a question about this gala.
Yeah.
When I hear the word gala, I immediately think like where am I my ball gowns?
You could.
This is not that crowd. This is, I assume, I know the organizations and I know a lot of the people involved, and I assume that we're not going to be dressing up. We may be wearing our nice button-down shirt rather than, but probably I doubt that it's going to be. I don't think you're going to see any guys in suits. That's for sure.
I don't know that a ball gown goes with chili either.
You're right.
Ball gown goes with anything.
Well, if you wanted to wear one, I'm sure you could. No, it's really just, maybe that's not the word they were using of late, but it's just a celebration, an anniversary to observe the longevity.
Yeah.
Some of
The parish committee was really enthusiastic about hosting this in our space.
Nice.
Because they're the organizations and the people that we have most in common with throughout the town and the area. And to be able to be the locus of the location for this kind of celebration really embeds us in our community in a very profound way. So we were really pleased that we were able to do that.
It would be, that's wonderful. And it's really good exposure as well, because,
Yes.
We are really, really, from a catering standpoint, we're a really good party venue. And that is a good source of income, which was something that I was pushing hard on a few years ago when I started there, and could definitely not spearhead now, but it's a beautiful space.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's a great space for any kind of event.
Anything.
Yeah. I think Tucker's signing out. I think I've got to go too. So it's really great to see everybody, and we'll see you next week,
Right.
in person or not.
Dottie,
Yeah,
you have to come for dinner sometime, Dottie.
She's gone already. I'm going to have to go too. I've got a busy afternoon ahead of me, but it was good to see you all. Thanks so much. Bye,
All
Jim.
right, see ya, Jim.
I
I can figure out how to turn myself off here.
Yeah,
There we
turn
go.
yourself off.
Bottom right-hand corner, leave. There we go.
All right. Chris, I know people are gonna go, but how you doing? Everything okay?
I'm good,
You good?
good. I just wish I hadn't gone back to work so I could go walking in the woods with you. So,
Well, I have to do more. I'm not doing as much as I would like to, so let me know whenever you want to go. You're the guy working, I'm not, so.
How much longer are you gonna work, Chris?
you know what? I don't know. I like the people part of what I do. I hate the state bureaucracy and the database that I might spend 15 minutes with someone and then need to spend 45 minutes in a database called Moses, putting in notes about the whole interchange, which is frustrating beyond measure. So,
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
but I'm here. I'm going to go.
Okay.
My little dog is asking me to take him for a walk by running around in circles. So, Lori, I'll see you.
That means.
See you guys.
Join us.
Take care.
Hey, Carl,
Yes.
would you mind emailing me your phone number?
Yep.
Every like once in a while, actually more like twice a week, but I won't bother you that often. I like something happens and I'm like, Carl would know the answer to this. And
Yeah, no, so make sure we have emails. What's your email?
mine's just indiaennis@mac.com.
Hold on a sec.
Mac.com.
Yep, Mac, MAC.
All right, I'll shoot you an email after this, so you have my
Cool.
email and we'll give my phone number too.
Cool.
I've been having, I think my phone is fixed. I have a brand new iPhone 6S. I say
Cool.
joking. Look at
Oh, I
Jonah. Jonah's laughing at me. Jonah, don't laugh, man.
And I was waiting. I was like,
XR, which is the
ooh.
new update. I think it's XR or something. I think the newest version's 14, maybe.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm joking. Yeah, I have like 6S. Whenever I tell friends I have a 6S, they're like on 15 or something, and I
Yeah.
get 6 though. So I've been having problems. Just it keeps on going to do not disturb, and I'm not
Yeah.
even sure they're supporting it anymore. But
Yeah, I don't think they are.
I look at my email constantly, and too. So if we can do that. But I'll send you both contact info.
Cool. Thanks.
I was gonna say the iPhone 4 was a really good phone. Remember how many people had that phone? It was
Yeah,
the one-
yeah. It was like a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And all the
still
like
have
really old
mine.
graphics. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it was a
Right.
good one. I had to get this little pop socket on the back because I was getting like really bad arthritis by like holding my phone all the time like this. And I'm on my phone all the time. It's my main source of, because I can look at it while I'm resting and like do work and stuff on it. But the computer's hard. So God, this cat is like,
Yeah, the cat's looking for a little bit of attention.
all her hair is now everywhere.
There you go.
Thanks, George.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, my 6S is pretty funny. I'll show you. It's all since I stopped work, I took the protective stuff off and I've dropped it. So the screen's all cracked and it looks like it's really funny.
Time for a new.
No, I'm not ready for a new phone yet.
Time for a new old phone, like maybe a 10 or
Oh,
a
a
12.
10, that would be wow.
I might have a 10. I might have an iPhone for you.
No, I'm good. This is perfectly fine. I'm an old guy. This is fine. It works fine. Now remember, this phone has
Jonah, your face is my face. I'm like, why? What?
I'm just curious about the battery life, Carl. How long does it last?
What?
The battery life. How long can you go
Oh,
without charging?
I have to charge it every day, but it lasts all
Okay.
day.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, it's fine. What do you have, Jonah?
I have an XR that I got, I think last year. It's probably like, I'd say like a 10-hour battery life, but I am really intense about charging my phone and my iPad. It drives me nuts if it's not like at like 70% or higher all the time.
It's good to run it down.
I hear that, but I don't want to do that. It makes me anxious.
We'll have to do our game night and Chinese checkers, and Othello was the game I was trying to think of.
Oh,
Remember,
cool.
with the black and white tiles? Jonah and I want to do like game night because
Yeah, I'm not, I will do it, but I usually, I go like,
Yeah.
I start yelling and stuff.
Sure, yelling,
Very,
but-
very friendly, but I'm very kind of
Yelling.
yelling competitive. So you can throw me out if you invite me at some point.
Surprises me, Carl. It would seem like the type to
Yeah,
yell.
no, when it comes
No.
to, it's, I'm obnoxious, but yeah, let's do game night. Anyways, I'll send that stuff to you, India, and
Cool.
we'll chat with you guys soon. Hopefully, hopefully we'll see you. I'm going to Brave. I'll have my mask on, but Brave chocolate auction, I think, because
yeah,
it's a nice thing. Chris and Dottie did such a nice thing for years, so
Yeah.
want to keep that going.
it would be so awesome if we could like put together some kind of thing every year to like have a squad of people like make his chocolate sauce. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, Dottie, Dottie looks like she's gonna have some, so.
Right. But I obviously can't imagine how much, because I know they did it, I think it's like a team and did a lot of production, but like that would be such a nice in memorial thing, because he's a big part of the church for how many years?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Decades.
Over 40, yeah.
Yeah, he was such a great guy, Chris.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. So that would be like a cool thing. When is that? Next weekend?
The 12th.
12th, so I think it's in 2 weekends.
I would like to brave that too. So I don't know. I have to find a ride.
Well, let us know. Yeah, I mean, let us know. And if we can help, let us know.
Okay. I
All
could
right.
do- All right.
Bye,
Nice
folks.
meeting everyone.
See you, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.